15 seconds there.
Stand by on camera. Stand by videotape. Stand by slow-mo.
Stand by to roll videotape in 5.
And roll tape. 4, 3, 2, 1. Take tape.
Football series concludes the 1974 season in Oakland, California on the final Saturday of the regular season. It's the Oakland Raiders with the best record in the NFL and the champions of the AFC's Western Division against perhaps the hottest team in the league, the Dallas Cowboys, winners of 7 of their last 8 games. And ABC's NFL Football is brought to you by Lincoln Mercury, who invite you to see all our new 75s and test any car against our cars at the sign of the Cat.
We've got a sold-out house here at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum, notwithstanding damp, penetrating, misty weather conditions. Hello again, everyone. I'm Howard Cosell. Welcome to our first adventure into Saturday Night Football right here on ABC. And we hope to have a good game tonight. We admit that one team, the Dallas Cowboys, is looking forward to next season. The other team, the Oakland Raiders, is looking forward to next Saturday in a playoff game against the Super Bowl champion Miami Dolphins. Nonetheless, as Frank Gifford suggested, the Cowboys are the hottest team in football. They are, in fact, a team of pride, and that's not just words. And so is their coach, Tom Landry. The Raiders, with the best record in the National Football League, want to awaken themselves from a lethargy that has beset them in recent games or ever since they clinched their divisional title. Quickly, let's look at the coaches. For the Raiders, John Madden, with a superb coaching record ever since he succeeded Al Davis. Strangely, his name never appears in the headlines, or almost never, but this is a man who has molded this team. Nobody else but John Madden. And, of course, Tom Landry, the great veteran coach. For the first time in 9 seasons, he'll be out of the playoffs, but he wants to end this season a winner, making it 8 of 9 and leaving people to conjecture with the notion that perhaps the Cowboys should have been in the playoffs. Now, to get to specifics, let's bring in the blithe spirit, Alex Garris. And, Alex, where did you get that jacket?
Well, it's a foggy night in Oakland town.
I wish you could sing. I really do. Well, all right, Alex, let's get to the specifics. What do you think? Think we're going to have a good game tonight?
Well, we should see a good game tonight. You know, Dallas is not going to be in the playoffs, but they're a good ball club, a proud ball club, and they have some young ball players that want to prove themselves to their coaches. And as far as Oakland is concerned, they can't let it take a duffer tonight. There's no question about it in my mind, because they have to gather a little momentum to play Miami. It's a tough ball club. They play them right here, and they want to gather a little momentum, and they want to stay with what they consider staying straight for this game that's coming up. It's a big game for them, so I don't think you're going to see either team taking a duffer tonight.
Of course, tonight you'll be watching your favorite ball player of all time.
Oh, I love that guy. We're going to talk a little bit about him later on the show.
Number 60, Otis Sistrunk. That's the guy. Let's turn to the offenses and let's bring in the Giffer. Frank?
Thank you, Howard and Alex. Just let me say quickly how much I've enjoyed this year. And do you think I wear cheap clothes, Alex?
Fur collar.
Offensively.
That's mink.
Offensively,
that's right.
We have the number 1 offensive team in the National Football Conference, the Dallas Cowboys. They're not in the playoffs, but believe it or not, they have gained more yards than the Oakland Raiders in both running and passing. The Oakland Raiders are the number 1 offensive team in the American Football Conference. So we'll have a good football game tonight. 2 quarterbacks. Roger Staubach provides a lot of action. And, of course, Kenny Stabler has thrown 24 touchdown passes. It should be a terrific football game, and even though the Cowboys are out of it, look for them to do a lot of strange things. Oakland could do a lot of strange things because they know that Miami, the team that they will meet next Saturday right in this very field, will be watching. And we'll be back with the kickoff from Oakland, California, right after this.
A massage.
Once again, this winter is special on ABC Sports. January 5th marks the season premiere of ABC's Sunday Wide World of Sports, when you'll see Muhammad Ali's stunning upset of heavyweight champion George Foreman.
Can you see
Oakland, says sung by Marvin Gaye.
Night, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight of the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red flare, the bombs bursting in air, gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave on the land of the free, in the home of the brave.
One of this country's fine rhythm and blues singers, Marvin Gaye, gets the festivities underway from the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum as the Oakland Raiders, with the best record in pro football, 11-2. There they are with Coach John Madden, take on the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, an 8-5 record, which belies really their strength power. They are a dynamite, explosive ball club.
They are, the Raiders are, but I said something at the very top of the program, Frank, and I said it because Cliff Harris, 43 of the Cowboys, came over to me, and he said, don't you think we should be in the playoffs? I said, you would have been, Cliff, if you had won enough games. He said, we're going to go out, winning 8 of our last 9. We want everybody in the country to know that the Cowboys should have been in the playoffs.
Okay, this is George Jakovenko, a first-year man out of Syracuse. He'll set it up. George Blanda, the regular placement kicker for the Oakland Raiders, at 46 years old, gets a breather. You're looking at number 37, going deep, Dennis Morgan, a dangerous kickoff return man. He is back there with number 30, Charlie Young. The Oakland Raiders, who will play the Miami Dolphins right on this field next week in a divisional playoff in the American Football Conference, get things underway. A squibbing kick taken at the 7-yard line by Dennis Morgan. And Morgan, upended hard, crawls forward to the 32-yard line, a return of 24 yards. Opening on offense for the Dallas Cowboys, Roger Staubach will be at quarterback. He's number 12. He teams there with Walt Garrison, number 32, and Calvin Hill, number 35. The wide receivers are 88, Drew Pearson, in a battle for the NFL lead in receptions. He has 58 coming into tonight. Golden Richards is the other wide receiver, and Billy Joe Dupree, the second-year man from Michigan State, is the tight end, number 89. First and 10 for the Cowboys from their own 32. Getting the call is Garrison, and Garrison battles up to the 35-yard line, and this is what has characterized this man for 9 years. The offensive line with which Garrison and Calvin Hill and the other Cowboy backs will work behind is a veteran one. Ralph Neely on the left side, 73. John Nyland, one guard, 76. At the center, 62. John Fitzgerald. Blaine Nye, right guard, 61. A great one at the right tackle. Rayfield Wright, number 70. It's second down and 7. Out quickly, it goes to Charlie Young as it replaces Garrison. And he gets the first down. He's out to the 46-yard line, hit there by Jack Tatum. Tatum playing in his first game over the past 3 weeks, and he'll be playing behind this defensive front four. At the left end, Bubba Smith, 77. Otis Sistrunk at the left tackle, number 60. Alex Harris's favorite defensive lineman.
Don't you ever mispronounce his name again, Frank.
Right tackle, Horace Jones at defensive right end. The linebackers, as you see them, a veteran in the middle, Dan Connors, 55. On the outside, 41, Phil Villapiano, 86, Gerald Irons, the other linebacker for Oakland. First and 10, the ball just short of the 45, and we're just underway from Oakland, California. Garrison back into the lineup. Gets the play action fake, and it goes out quickly to Garrison, and he has running room down the sideline. Garrison all the way down to the 25-yard line, and Roger Staubach hit that ball well to Garrison. Found him in the flat, and the Cowboys are threatening a 30-yard pickup. We'll see a lot of alternating players tonight. The Cowboys using a lot of their backs. Charlie Young will be in there for them, number 30. Robert Newhouse, number 44. The defensive secondary for the Oakland Raiders will be Skip Thomas at one cornerback. He's number 26. Nehemiah Wilson, number 48 at the other corner. Jack Tatum, having returned after missing 3 weeks, will be at the free safety, number 32. George Atkinson, the strong safety. On first and 10 for the Cowboys. We're at the 25 of Oakland. Calvin Hill, the big fullback, in a big hole over the left side, and he gets about 8 yards. And Howard, this is what was the concern of many of the Oakland Raider fans. They have a great offensive team, but they are weak against the run. They are ninth in their conference, and the Cowboys are, of course, are first in rushing. And what is concerning Oakland fans, Al Davis, when we talked to him last night, was that the Cowboys would be able to keep the ball all night.
That's exactly true, and of course they are naturally looking forward to next week, and they know they've got the problem of Big Zonk, the problem of Mercury Morris, and the problem of Jimmy Kick. Meanwhile, as I said, the Cowboys want to prove something.
From the Raiders, 17. Second down and 2. Again, the play fake by Staubach. And again, going to Garrison. Garrison bobbles the ball into the end zone. Drew Pearson. Good way to get it. Drew Pearson was Johnny on the spot, as he has been all year. Cowboys marching right downfield. You saw Garrison fumble into the end zone. Drew Pearson was having a great year, and this is second year out of Tulsa. 58 receptions, but he was there to fall on it.
In fact, they went 67 yards in 5 plays, consuming 3 minutes and 7 seconds. They look back upon their season, the Cowboys do, and they remember certain games and certain key plays, and they think of what might have been.
Efren Herrera from UCLA, the rookie, converts for Dallas. And the Dallas Cowboys have struck suddenly. They lead the Oakland Raiders 7-0. Mixing the pass, play-action pass with the running plays, the Cowboys march right down the field.
Well, you know, the Cowboys are certainly loose tonight. They're not going to go anywhere the rest of the season, but they're going out there. They want to show the Raiders are a good ball club. And sometimes, you know, Howard, when you're out of it, and I should know because I was out of it lots of times with the Lions, you go out there and you have a lot of fun, and oddly enough, you play real good football.
Take a look at it again if we can. There's Staubach. He's made a great play fake to this man, Garrison, who found the open spot, and they used this play twice. A moment ago, they went 30 yards on the other side, so they found something definitely in the Oakland defense that they are not covering this man. Pearson here is being picked up by Skip Thomas. You see that typical man-for-man coverage for Oakland. Eyes on the receiver. There's the fumble. Pearson in the end zone. Cowboys ahead 7-0. All right. Efren Herrera has the ball set up. Deep is Ron Smith. He's the all-time NFL leader for yardage on returns. He's number 27. Harold Hart is back there. He's number 34. Bobbling kick taken down there by... Well, let's identify our receiver as we unpile. Banaszak. Pete Banaszak was there. a 14-yard return.
Well, let's see now if Oakland can strike back quickly. They're at a time of the season like this, when the Cowboys are out of it. There are individual battles going on down on that field and individual things to prove. Gene Upshaw, the great offensive pulling guard, 63, wants to prove something tonight. We'll develop that.
From the 32-yard line, the Oakland Raiders move over to the left side, and Marv Hubbard is the man who's carrying it. Offensive line, a veteran one for the Oakland Raiders. Art Shell on the left side. Gene Upshaw, 63. And playing in his 210th consecutive game, starting his 210th game, Jim Otto at center. George Beeler at right guard. Henry Lawrence, the rookie from Florida A&M, is the right tackle. Second down and 8, the ball resting just short of the 35-yard line. Hubbard again, pounding the right side and running into all kinds of problems over there. Bounces off several defensive Cowboys, and Pat Kume finally is there to make the stop. There they are, the front four for the Cowboys that will alternate tonight, but beginning the action will be Larry Cole, 63, Jethro Pooh, 75. Bill Gregory and Bob Lilly will alternate at the right tackle. As you see, Lilly was the starter, and Pat Kume as the defensive right end. And into the lineup now comes Bill Gregory, number 77, and Ed Jutal Jones, number 72, along with 79, Harvey Martin. They'll be shuffling all night, and Ed Jones and Martin come in on the passing situation, is what we have at 36. Stabler goes to Cliff Branch, and Branch makes his 58th reception of the year. He's tied with the Cowboys' Drew Pearson. And a first down for Oakland at the 43-yard line.
And Mel Renfro, the veteran, whom some feel has gone downhill rather radically, was playing way off Cliff Branch, as you saw on the play. There's Cliff, brilliant receiver out of Colorado. In the meantime, I mentioned Gene Upshaw. He's burned up. He came over and told me I meant what I said in that UPI story, only they didn't say it strong enough. I blame the juice, O.J. Simpson, for making McKenzie all-conference over me, and I'm going to show them.
On first and 10, the Cowboys 44. Stabler to the air again. Cannot find a receiver. Now he dumps it short to Branch, and Renfro again giving him plenty of room. And in defense of Mel Renfro, he's been playing on an injured ankle. He was out for several weeks, came back last week against Cleveland. He had to because the Cowboys only have 5 defensive backs. There he is.
And we just showed you a picture, Frank, of Art Toms on the sidelines. He wasn't wearing a girdle. That wasn't a girdle he had on. He had some bad ribs, and they were protecting his ribs. For you girls out there, I thought maybe you didn't know that.
All right, second down and 10. The ball at the 44. There he is, Kenny Stabler, having a tremendous year. 24 touchdown passes. Hands off to Clarence Davis. Davis pecks away for a yard or two on the left side. Stabler will find himself in a passing situation. That was Marv Hubbard, brother, number 44. Marv Hubbard also having another fine year. 838 yards coming into tonight. Over the past 2 years, each of the previous 2 years, he's gone over 1,000 yards. All right, Hubbard comes to the bench. And Pete Banaszak is in there along with Clarence Davis in the passing situation on a third down and 8. Stabler with lots of time. Biletnikoff wide open. Biletnikoff works himself into the zone, down the open area, and Stabler really drilled it.
All right, we'll have another look at this. And this is a virtual replay of a scene you've seen so many times throughout the season. Clutch situation. Somehow, that great veteran from Florida State is always loose. There you saw him avoid a chuck, and the first defender went down. And Stabler threading the needle with the pass. Stabler, his release is so easy, Alex.
He sure is. He's a fine ball player, and of course, he goes to Biletnikoff in those crucial situations.
We told you they were two offensively minded teams, and that's exactly what they are. The Cowboys leading 7-0 on their first drive. And getting the call around the left side, Clarence Davis. Hit there by Jethro Pugh.
I must say, Alex, the Cowboys are stopping the run. There he is.
And he found out you mispronounced his name, too, Frank. He's very hot about it. Very hot.
Incidentally, we've all been invited to his fraternity reunion on the planet of Mars at the university campus up there. Let's watch Number 63, Gene Upshaw. He gave him a good belt, I'll tell you.
Second down and 11, a loss of 1. Davis gets the draw call. Finds a little hole, gets 3 yards. Perhaps it'll be third down, the passing situation again for Stabler. Third down and 8. The ball at the just short of the 17-yard line as John Madden looks on. 5 divisional titles in his 6 years as head coach.
Not too bad, Giff.
Indeed.
The night of our first game this year, Oakland at Buffalo. I remember Rune Arledge saying to him, boy, we've got some matchup for our final game. Significant game in the standings. And Madden said, by the time we play Dallas, it won't matter in the standings.
Stabler has converted on the 2 previous third down attempts. He goes to the air again. And again, forced out of the pocket, goes for Branch. He comes back for it. He will be short of the first down. He had to come back. And it'll be fourth down, and the ancient one will trot onto the field. Of course, to refer to the venerable old 46-year-old George Bland in his 25th year, and still an excellent athlete.
46 years old. Isn't that something?
I know what he thinks of bet check.
He likes it. Remember we did that opening game interview with him? He really does.
All right, the attempt from 31 yards. Just routine for George Blanda. So the Raiders trail the Dallas Cowboys 7-3, and we'll be back after this.
This Monday night, ABC brings you top postseason college football bowl action. The Liberty Bowl from Memphis, Tennessee. The Maryland Terrapins, featuring Outland Trophy winner Randy White, the outstanding lineman of the country, meets the Volunteers of Tennessee, led by quarterback Condrich Holloway. Maryland, Tennessee, Monday night in the Liberty Bowl at 9 Eastern Time over most of these ABC stations.
7:19 remaining in the first quarter. The Raiders have shortened their score to the Dallas Cowboys to 7-3. Jack Cavinto kicks off, and it's Dennis Morgan. Morgan finds a little hole to the outside, quickly covered there by Raiders. Moving out to the 38-yard line.
40 people
by Monty
marked
Johnson. 31-yard return for Dennis Morgan, a rookie from Western Illinois.
And a good rookie who's broken a number this year in his kick runs. Hey, there's Jim Garner, Alex, together with the ancient one, as Frank called him, George Blanda. That's right. Say hello to his fellas. Hello, Jimmy. Star of his own series, The Rockford Files, remembered forevermore in television as Maverick. Good guy.
Good-looking devil.
Dallas, in the final game of the season, will begin their drive on the 37-yard line. Calvin Hill sprawls forward, and Calvin Hill sometimes looks like he's gaining a yard or two, but by the time he completes the ball, he usually tacks on a couple more, and this time he gets 7. With a second down, a long 3, the ball just short of the 44.
Number 35, out of Yale University. And what a player he's been. He's gained over 800 yards this year, despite the fact that he's missed 4.5 games. That takes some doing.
On the second down, Bill Houston comes in, number 86. He's in the stacked backfield. This is Houston, the rookie from Jackson State. The toss goes out to Robert Newhouse. And Newhouse gets a couple of yards, short of the first down, however, hit by Phil Villapiano, number 41.
Bob Hubbard, whom Frank has already told you about, with 2 consecutive Bedlam 1,000 years. In terms of yards, not in terms of age. Who once played for the Hartford Charter Oaks.
He's really stuck with it, Howard. He was cut right here in Oakland back in '69, went back and played in the minor leagues and came back and has really turned into one of the great all-pros.
He reminds me of Jim Taylor the way he runs. You know, he breaks those tackles, gets that 4 and 5 yards.
Strong.
Bigger than Jimmy, though.
On the 3rd and 1. And getting the call is Charlie Young. Big hole, first down. The Cowboys moving. Moving on the ground.
Fans haven't seen a lot of Charlie Young. He's a high draft choice, as we said, from North Carolina State. And he's being carefully prepared by Landry. One of the Cowboys is injured down on the field. And it's John Fitzgerald, the center. He's the guy who opened the hole for Charlie there. Number 62.
Gain of 8 by another 12 yards by Charlie Young. Another Cowboy first down as John Fitzgerald is being administered to. Tom Landry looking on. And we'll be back in Oakland right after this message.
It's Sears.
Now here's a replay of that injury to center John Fitzgerald. He opened the hole for his teammate Charlie Young and paid the price for doing so. Look there. Kicked right in the head by the left knee of Charlie Young as Charlie proceeded onward for a 12-yard gain.
And so many times that happens, Howard. In fact, I almost ended my career like that. My own ball player knocked my knees off from under me, and that was it. There's a perfect example. Sometimes your own ball players will do it to you.
John Fitzgerald, however, walked off the field under his own power, and hopefully he'll be able to return, and certainly we hope he's all right. Cowboys have a 1st and 10. They're on the 43-yard line of the Oakland Raiders. They lead 7-3. Play action fake again by Staubach. Going deep for Richards, and it'll be picked off. As the flag goes down, Atkinson picked it off. Under Nehemiah Wilson picked it off, but a flag is down at the 5-yard line. Nehemiah Wilson.
This will be called on number 32, Jack Tatum, the strong safety out of Ohio State. No question about it. And if we can get it in replay, you'll see exactly how it happened.
There's the call. Jack Tatum again returning to action after 3 weeks. Has to be a little rusty. He's wearing number 32.
Now it's not here. Did you see Tatum come up behind there?
Well, you saw Richards sprawl forward, and Tatum had given him a pretty good
Tatum
nudge.
had given him the shot.
In any event, the Cowboys have a 1st and goal on the Oakland Raiders 5-yard line. 4:50 remaining in the first quarter. They lead 7-3.
Apart from that penalty call, and a very damaging one, there's Fitzgerald still seeking to get his wits together after the blow in the head from his teammate Charlie Young. Significantly, Dallas has been able to stop Oakland's ground game thus far. Oakland has not been able to stop Dallas's ground game. As I said, with the exception of that penalty, it's the ground game of Dallas that's dominated.
On the first down, Newhouse crawling forward to about the 2-yard line there.
You know, there's no real reason why Oakland's defensive line isn't that good against the rushing game, because they're a big bunch of guys and they're pretty fast. Although I wouldn't say Tom's is the biggest, but I think that they move good and they have good linebackers. I don't know what the problem is, other than the fact that I think some of the teams that play against them like to run it on the ground to keep control so that their offense doesn't get the shot at them every 3 minutes.
Newhouse moves it inside the 2. You see the Raiders in their goal line defense. Staubach fouled the ball. It's floating around. Jack Tatum, I believe, has it. And Jack Tatum, who was called for that pass interference, turns it around. The ball was bouncing off the shoulders of first the Cowboys and then the Raiders, and Jack Tatum, the ever alert Tatum, was there to pick it up.
Yeah,
there it is.
He never got the ball at all.
Blaine Nye hit it. The pulling guard. Staubach is totally lost. And here comes Tatum.
He really made up for it.
Tatum takes it out to the 16-yard line. For the Raiders with a big break. Avert, at the very least, a possible field goal. This is Marv Hubbard. And Hubbard, it's maybe a yard and a half before he's drilled.
But an early pattern, it seems to me, is formed here. Naturally, Oakland wants to get its ground game going to complement the pass. And its drive down toward its field goal in 9 plays that took 4 minutes and 34 seconds. They finally had to settle for a field goal because they used 2 rushing plays that went nowhere before going for a 3rd down pass.
This is Clarence Davis. And Davis finds the going just as rough as Hubbard. There's Jack Tatum on the sidelines. Jack Tatum, the Ohio State All-American of 4 years ago.
Well, he's a key figure in their defensive backs, and he's the guy that makes all the tackles for them, and he's been out 3 weeks, and Oliver Spencer, assistant coach over there with the Raiders, said he's very happy to have him back.
3rd down now and 8. Out to the left comes Cliff Branch. He'll be covered very delicately by Mel Renfro. Out to the right, Politnikoff. And Stabler is back and in trouble. And Stabler's down. The big rush was on. Jethro Pugh was there, 75. Harvey Martin, 79. He leads the Cowboys in sacks. He got another one. That's his 10th of the year.
That was great, Frank. Stabler's back, in trouble, and Stabler's down. Ali moves quickly to the neutral corner.
That's 4th down. Ray Guy will punt for Oakland. Deep will be Cliff Harris and Dennis Morgan. Morgan, the lone safety. And there is the predicament of Ray Guy, the leading punter in the AFC. Averaging a little over 41 yards. Uh-oh, he's fouled the ball. He'll go down, safety. Out of the end zone, safety. And a near possible touchdown for Dallas. Cal Peterson, number 58, was the man that stormed in there, but Ray Guy just bobbled that ball. You'll see, he never completely had the ball. He bobbles it there. Here comes Peterson. He's number 58, and if he could have got on that ball, he would have had 6 instead of 2. There it is again. Ray Guy, who's a fine athlete, and he will not often make this kind of mistake.